What's up, everybody? So we got a bit of an oddball group today. We got a Chopper, a Harley, a Honda CBR 600 up front, and there's me. I'm on my Suzuki 1000 today. We are on our way down to Laguna Beach, which is the California coastline, to actually meet up with a couple more guys on choppers. So kind of a weird group. It always feels weird to ride with different style bikes. My bike, my Harley, and Bill's chopper are both in the shop getting worked on right now, getting customized. So we just want to ride, we don't care. So that's the deal for today. But look at my buddies here. They are dressed for the ride, not for the slide. And that's what today's video is about. Because I just can't understand these people that don't wear the proper gear. And then there's the girls. Well, here we are in a nice multi-million-dollar neighborhood. Shit, I'm almost getting lost already. Look at these homes. This is crazy up here. We got your tennis courts. Alright, so it sounds like we're staying down on the beach area, headed toward Newport Beach. So I want to see a show of hands of people that get bothered by, if you're a rider and you see other riders not wearing gear. Does it bother you? And if so, why? Why does it bother us when we see riders not wear the proper gear? I mean, it's not our skin. God, that thing is loud. But I think in some ways it's because we feel like we're all connected on some level. And when we see riders doing something that we don't agree with, it bothers us. I can almost guarantee you that every rider you see that's not wearing a jacket and gloves, they probably haven't crashed yet. There's a good chance they haven't crashed yet. If there's any of you guys out there that don't wear a jacket that have crashed, I want to see you guys in the comments. I'd like to know your mentality as to why you don't wear a jacket or gloves. I mean, is it a money thing? Is it a comfort thing? A jacket's too hot? I think a lot of reasons. I think the reasons I gear up is there's a whole bunch of them. I mean, I actually design riding gear, so I'd be a hypocrite if I design the stuff, but I don't wear it. I'm constantly testing gear that I design. So here we are on the world famous Pacific Coast Highway, also known as PCH. It's nice down here because it's always about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than back where I live. I'm about an hour from the beach. What blows my mind is when I see these guys, I do a lot of riding to work and back, commuting on the freeway, and it'll be like a cool morning and I'll still see people no jacket or a nice jacket with no gloves. I'm like, no gloves? Like, dude, it's cold out and you're on a full-on sport bike. It's just kind of baffling. Like the other day I was coming home and it was a warm day and I came up on this guy in like a like a big cruiser bike with saddlebags, and you know, an older guy, 50 plus. And he was wearing shorts which were blowing up, so it looked like he was wearing underwear. And he was wearing a t-shirt which was blowing up halfway up his body. It looked like a girl in a bikini, and just regular tennis shoes. It's like, you just don't see that very often, where a guy on that kind of a bike, an older guy, you know, they're usually dressed up. A lot of times they're wearing high-vis yellow, you know. And this guy was stripped down to the bone. One thing I've noticed is that when it's really hot out, I'm actually cooler in a vented jacket than not wearing a jacket. Like, we had this heat wave hit us the other day, and about 3 weeks ago. It was like 116 degrees, which is unheard of around here. And when I got into my neighborhood, I peeled off my helmet just to get some air, and it was so hot. The air hitting my face was so hot, I had to put my helmet back on. That just kind of shows you that when it's really hot out, you're not necessarily cooler not wearing a jacket. You know, that hot air just beating against your body, you know. I don't like riding in just a t-shirt also, because when I'm riding, I don't like the wind beating against my arms. I don't like the wind beating against my chest. You know, on today's ride, all my buddies here wearing t-shirts. When we rode about 45 minutes to our first destination, and they're all like, God, man, my arms feel numb from the air just beating against my arms. I'm like, see? That's why you should wear a jacket. The old Pacific Ocean. This is where all the good-looking people hang out, Newport Beach. Look at that pier, dude. It's like covered in people. Coming up on the famous Main Street where everything happens. This is like the hot spot for Newport Beach right here, all along this street. We try to stay away from that street on bikes because the cops are really critical of noise, blinkers, license plate position, helmet. I've gotten popped down here too many times to go down Main Street. Nice Ducati. So yeah, like I said, a lot of people that don't wear jackets, I just don't think they've ever had a crash on a motorcycle, maybe like ever. I've only had one crash on the street, and that was a track day. It was really hot out. The track was getting greasy. I was battling with my buddy, and I came into a right-hand corner, and I hit about an 80-mile-an-hour turn, and my back tire just finally gave out, and I low slided and like just slid forever, dude. And you know, of course, I'm wearing full leathers and leather gloves, and I walked away from that without even a bruise. You know, I wore the leather out in my butt, you know, a little bit of wearing the gloves, but I was 100% fine. Now imagine doing that crash wearing what these guys are wearing. You know, I would have been tore up. You know, my history on motorcycles, I've had a lot of crashes though, man. Dirt bikes, my body has been pulverized. I've broken my left ankle, my left wrist, my ribs twice. I broke my collarbone, I broke my femur. I still have a metal rod in my right leg with 3 screws in my knee. Damaged my neck, and broke my big toe. But that's a lot of crashing, and there's a lot of crashes that I've done where I didn't break bones. But there's a big difference between crashing in the dirt and crashing on the street. When you crash in the dirt, it's mostly you're bouncing, you're getting slammed to the ground, and you're breaking bones or getting bruised up. You're not necessarily getting road rash. On the street, it's usually a combination of both road rash and, you know, you're bouncing some. It really depends on your crash. So I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I just feel comfortable on a bike when I know that my butt is covered. And if I happen to go down, you know, I'm not going to be a street crayon. I would rather crash 10 times in the dirt than 1 time on the street. This is my buddy Mark. I think he's buying this bike, and it keeps stalling at red lights, so he's happy that it just stays running right now. We've already had like 3 custom bike issues today. We had a shifter fall off, we had a gas cap malfunction. This bike keeps stalling at red lights. It's like, oh my god, these custom bikes, so finicky. So hey, this video isn't trying to convince people to wear their gear. People are gonna wear what they want to wear, and nobody's gonna change their mind, least of all me. But yeah, I honestly believe that anybody I see that's not riding with a jacket on has not crashed on the street yet, or possibly never crashed on a motorcycle, never broken a bone, never had road rash. Yeah, I'm just not really sure why it bothers me when I see people without riding gear on. Like I said, it's no sweat off my skin. You know, I guess we feel like it reflects on all of us as a community. I guess that's all I got to say about that. We are trying to find a place to eat down here. I'm starving. My body is feeding on itself. It's 12:30 and I haven't had a bite to eat all day and I'm ready to pass out. All right, guys, let's hear your comments below. What you think about people not wearing their riding gear. Do you care? Do you not care? And thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next Monday.